Hello guys, how is everybody? Guess what I did today? I fixed my miter saw. Let me show you a video about that. A quick backstory to the whole miter saw problem. My miter saw blade developed a wobble, which would happen every time. Even though I tighten up the blade before use, it would start wobbling after third or fourth cut, and I would have to stop using the miter saw, tighten up the blade again, and it would do maybe 2 or 3 cuts and start wobbling again. At first I was thinking that maybe there's something wrong with the flange nut on the miter saw because it keeps slipping, but the flange nut on examination looked okay. It wasn't in a, like, there wasn't, I couldn't find any discernible problems with it. I couldn't see any distortions on the thread. Next thing I was wondering about was maybe it is to do with the alignment of the meter guide underneath the saw. But the alignment was spot on. The blade, when it was not turned on, was going into the through the guide and everything. So that was okay. Then somebody suggested that I should tighten up the blade properly and manually rotate the blade while keeping lowering it down all the way, pressing a piece of wood against it, tightening the clamp on the piece of wood so it stays right on top of the blade, and manually rotate the blade to see if the blade moves away or pushes and scrapes the wood. So I did that, and when I did that, the blade was clearly warped. So I went ahead and I bought a new blade. I installed the new blade on the saw, tightened up everything, turned it on, and voila, the thing was doing the same thing again. So I'm like, what? Anyways, minus all the negative thoughts and words, I decided to remove the blade and have a look. When I removed the blade, I realized something, that my washers on both sides of the nut, both sides of the blade, the arbor nuts, are not in the right place. I thought they were in the right place in the beginning, but the thing is the washer at the back was fairly loose, going up and down where it was, and it really shouldn't be doing that. It should, once you slip it on, it should stay in its place. And so I removed the one from the back, and I took the front washer, which I was using in the front of the saw, turned it around, placed it back on the arbor nut, and voila. I'm sorry if I'm even using the wrong terminology. I understand it to be arbor nut. Maybe but it is the spindle, the part of the spindle that comes out of and the washer sits on. When I reversed the front washer, put it on there, and pressed it in, not only it won't wiggle, but unless you put it in right way, a millimeter here and there, it won't fit. Hence, when I put the saw blade against it, the blade stays true, right? So I'm sure by now everybody who has done this knows what I'm going to get to. When I put the second washer back on, and the flange nut back on, tighten it up, and as you can see in the video, it works.